Moving on to bad OCs. We're going back in the same order. Smooth. Tell us about your bad OC this week. I mean...
You mean good part 2?
Good part 2 for you.
You mean good part 2.
Good part 2 for Smooth, and then we'll go into bad OCs for us.
Yeah. This is Stardust. She is generally friendly, but doesn't really like to be out in public very much. If she's out in public, it's usually because her few close friends kind of drag her out there, but then she's at least okay because she's with her close friends. Around strangers, not so much, but close friends, thumbs up, is okay. And alone, also thumbs up is okay because introverted. She is somewhat lazy, can be rather blunt about topics and opinionated, but she doesn't try to be rude about it. It's just kind of how talking sometimes. She friggin' loves magic and stuff like that, and she wished she could be Princess Luna's student. And at one point, she was actually supposed to be a unicorn and be Princess Luna's student. However, it didn't fit her generality for her purpose. So the creator was like, no, I'm cutting that out because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for the character. So, yeah. Earth Pony Master Race instead. She loves the color purple and also loves the... I'm pretty sure silver and black aren't considered colors. I know black isn't, but I'm fairly certain silver isn't considered a color either.
No.
Through technicalities, but those are her favorite colors.
Well, actually, silver is kind of like a type of bluish color.
Everything is a color. It's a color.
It depends on how you see it. She also loves potatoes. She also loves potatoes because reasons, which I'll explain later. She loves peppermints. She loves winter and snow, and she loves the beach, which are two very different things.
Very.
But I'm fine with it because reasons. And she loves stars for more obvious reasons, like name being Stardust and loving stars and stuff.
Yeah,
Stardust.
She is incredibly moody, I believe is the word, where you're incredibly affected by the moods around you. Like, if you see something happy, you generally are happy. But if, like, you're watching a TV show or playing a video game and all of a sudden from out of nowhere your favorite character dies and you're just, like, really sad and then all of a sudden everyone's just like, no, what's wrong? And you're just like, no, nothing's wrong. Kind of thing that happens. She likes to stay online late into the hours of night.
Yeah, girl.
Playing stuff on her, or like playing browser games, or role-playing, or stalking the forums. But because of her late night waking up, or because of the late nightness, she usually wakes up pretty late to start her chores and stuff, because she is actually a potato farmer. Yep. That giant blob on her cutie mark, that's a potato.
I thought it was a football.
It's a potato.
Surrounded
by starbits.
Starbits.
Potato.
Now zooming in.
So what's her special talent exactly?
Potato farming.
But
well, I have no issue with this.
Well, okay,
that's her special talent.
All right, potato farming it is.
So she has this huge in-depth character, and then all of a sudden, potato farmer.
Well, yeah. Are you saying that potato farmers can't be in-depth?
No, I'm saying I love that. Because she's not like there's no this cutie mark represents her inner struggle. This is why this is this. It's like no, her cutie mark's fucking potato with sparkles because she farms potato. She's really good at potatoes.
She is good at potatoes.
I've never seen Nettie this passionate over potatoes ever.
I am able potato, best potato.
She's just, it's like, yes, you can have a special talent in something that's not really amazing, but you can still have a good character.
Thank you.
And you can enjoy other things.
Most OCs are just like fucking. Here's Edgy McEdginson. His cutie mark is a blade because it represents his blade edge personality and his blah blah blah. Like, no, fucking stop it. The blade's that because he's good at sword fighting. There's the fucking answer. Just make your cutie mark your special talent. Don't make it some bullshit personality thing.
Yeah.
Potato.
Also, I'm surprised that her favorite food, one of her favorite foods, is still potatoes.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you get tired of them?
Nope.
Potatoes.
It's potatoes every day or nothing.
I mean, do you know what you can do with potatoes?
I guess that's true.
There are French fries, scalloped potatoes, curly fries, potatoes au gratin, ratatouille,
onion rings,
potato buns, potato lace,
ketchup.
There's
mustard,
a whole bunch of different things that potatoes can do. On top of other things, I mean, vodka,
champagne.
There's
wine,
so much you can do with potatoes.
Lemonade.
Dude,
it makes us a good skeleton key.
Potatoes are just neat.
Oh yeah, good on her for liking potatoes and still liking them while being a potato farmer.
She's afraid of the heat, or not afraid of, but she hates the heat because it's really blech. It just feels blech.
Yeah,
I can
and becomes incredibly sarcastic and just like, oh man, I really love it. It's really hot right now. That's great.
I can just see you doing that, Smooth.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's kind of how I get.
Smooth, you sarcastic son of a bitch. I
That's
love
exactly how I imagine you.
Ugh. So great. So hot right now.
I just love the heat. Oh
man, it's really nice heat right now.
Smooth, why are you wearing a sweater?
Sunburn I have.
Smooth, why are you wearing a sweater? Because it's so good to be hot.
It's a sweatshirt. She is terrified of the dark because she was locked in a closet at one point of her life and just kind of scared and terrified of the dark ever since then. Also, terrified of bugs, especially certain spiders. Spiders! Ah! Oh my goodness. Spiders terrifying.
I was like, is this OCU Smooth?
Smooth.
I don't know. I don't know. This
Like,
seems too much like me.
It's weird. Like the special talent is not.
Well, yeah, I don't really like potatoes all that much.
I think the character's really cute. One of the only problems I have is I feel like the mane is like is that pure black and pure white? Because it looks like pure black and pure white.
No, they are not actually.
Is it just really off?
The black in the mane isn't even close to black.
Oh yeah,
except for the very bottom part of the tail, it's actually a different color. But I feel like that was just an accident thing that happens in art sometimes.
Yeah, I think that was just my viewing angle.
Yeah.
What? Like, I feel like for those colors, they did a pretty good job. It's still, I'm just like, not sure how I feel.
I think they need to be closer together. I feel like the incredibly light gray, not technically white. I feel like that one is pretty good, but I feel like the dark gray contrasts it too much, especially against the coat also. I feel like that one should be lightened up a bit. Like maybe to the darkest gray that's in the background. By the way, that background's really cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Or maybe a little bit darker than the grays in the background, because then if you had it to one of the grays in the background, it wouldn't really work with the background anymore. You'd have to change the background, and that would suck.
That it works. Smooth.
No, but I totally get your where you're going with, because I agree, because it's the contrast that makes it seem so drastic, because they're very different values of color.
Yeah.
Her beach attire picture, it's really cute.
I didn't get why there was beach attire on there until you explained that she really likes going to the beach.
Hates the heat.
Yeah, hates the heat. That's why she loves winter. Winter on the beach would be perfect.
I I really like her accessories. Like,
yeah.
I think they work really well.
I think the dark gray or the darker one of the scarf is way too dark. Also,
yeah, it is a bit dark. Like, I feel like are those the same color?
No, they're not.
They're
not.
They're pretty close though. The dark.
It's somewhat close, but it's not the same.
It's not the same.
Actually, the scarf, the dark in the scarf actually matches the bottom part of her tail. So I assume that's where that accident came from.
Yeah.
But if it's an accident, I assume.
I think scaling those down together would be a pretty good idea.
Yeah, as long as you could distinguish the two of them.
Yeah. Or hey, maybe recycle colors. But I don't know why you'd recycle your main color, but yeah, you can do it. Not sure how it'll work, but
you can do it.
Also, I really like her and her eyes.
I don't want her being sad. Look at that bottom corner. It's so sad. I don't want it sad.
I want her to be happy.
Sad. She's incredibly cute. Good part 2. I love that purple.
Moving on to the next OC. That means we're going to be looking at Mitty's bad OC. Mitty, what you got for us this week there, old buddy?
This is Rust. They are bi gender, meaning they don't prefer to be called he or she, they prefer they.
They, them, their.
Yeah, their. Anyways, Rust is a little horse who had a brother, and her brother she followed her brother around all the time, and she was kind of like, she really liked her brother, and her brother gave her this really cool jacket, and then her brother died of cancer.
Knew it. I fucking knew it.
Wait, excuse me, what?
Yeah.
I fucking knew it. I was like, oh, her brother gave her this jacket. The brother died. Then the brother died of cancer. Fucking knew it.
And then she was, she got her cutie mark when she was fixing a 1942 wagon. And then, suddenly a nail appeared on her flank when she turned 16.
No. That's for the next sentence.
Oh, is that for the next sentence?
Yeah.
And the next sentence really hurts my brain. Or the next couple hurt my brain.
Okay. Then a nail appeared on her flank. And then she turned 16. God damn it. She turned 16. They realized that they were attracted to both genders. And that they barely even saw it anymore. They don't see gender anymore. They're like, I don't see fucking gender. Their traits is that they are stubborn as a mule. They're quiet. They're kind-natured. They're hardy. A joker and very open to new things. What?
They're handy.
Handy?
Oh, hardy.
They're hardy. They're packed with protein and fiber. All that fiber from all that hay.
They're handy, a jokester, and very open to new things.
So is it open to us, or you want to talk about color? Or?
This looks like a very toned down Scootaloo in a way to me. With
Yep.
the colors.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like it.
When I think of toned down, I usually think like less saturated, more grayscale kind of thing.
It's darker.
Yeah, that's way darker. Also more saturated.
Also, I kind of feel like the dead brother story is kind of edgy.
It's kind of cliche.
It's kind of only there for a second.
It's kind of cliche.
I mean, it's
people die.
Yeah,
people die, but
it's cliche to die.
Dying is cliche.
Yeah.
Guess what? There's only two things that are inevitable: death and taxes.
Yeah.
On Mummified side, dying is cliche to explain a jacket.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Like, it doesn't though. It's like, okay, everybody. If you're going to do that, I mean, you could possibly explain the connection between it. It's like, okay, as it's explained right now, it's like, okay, the brother gave her the jacket, he died, and she just never takes it off. If you explained it a little bit better, like, they had a deep, heavy relationship, or they were never apart, or it's like the most closest brother, or they were twins. If they were twins, that would be even interesting, because then you could also plug that into after her brother died, they became bi-gendered. That would be interesting.
They became both of them.
Yeah, they could be both of them, but neither one of them at the same time.
I mean, like, She could
Like,
be both her
they-
and her brother,
Yeah, like
kind of
yeah,
thing.
that would add a lot of like deep psychological things to
Jesus,
this.
that would make this character like fucking amazing all the
Yeah,
time.
that would make this character like it'd be like
fucking-
edgy, but it'd be so cool.
I fucking fixed it.
No,
Done.
you
Moving
explained
on.
it stupidly, and I fixed it.
Medi.
Yeah.
Final thoughts on this
Yeah.
character, because I just
Wait,
fixed
no,
everything.
No, stop. Shut up. And I do think that would be like a really cool way to explain like and talk about this character, because that adds a lot of depth, a lot of deep shit in that. But aside from the kind of trying to like fix that, I'm just trying to figure out what the best thing to do with these colors would be, because like you said, it's sort of like a really
Too
dark
saturated.
Scootaloo.
The code is
what?
too saturated.
Yeah, it's definitely too saturated. It's
I
too
can't tell
dark.
if those are shading. I can't tell if that's shading
Yeah,
or not.
I feel
Yeah,
like
it's
it's
shading.
supposed to be shading.
It's shading. It totally
It's,
is.
it's bad done shading.
Oh my god, the ear.
Yeah, the ear is what throws it off. Otherwise, it would be like.
Because like, what is her ear doing? Like bending
it's-
forward and
it's
back
shading.
like an ant?
Yeah,
Like an S?
it's just it's like without any idea of the surrounding. It's sort of strange, but that's beside the point, because that doesn't have to do with the character. I wouldn't have the tip thing where it's like the tip is a different color, because not how hair works, and I don't know, it's weird. And then I'm just trying to think of what would be the best thing to do. Do you guys have any ideas?
Make the picture bigger? That would
Well,
that would help.
Well, that has nothing to do with the character, but and I feel like I just
Brown and purple are incredibly difficult to put together correctly. Especially if it's like a brown red, I suppose it has a better chance than, or a purple red, I mean, then it has a better chance, because brown is usually incredibly red
it's dark.
and orange kind of thing.
Yeah, like orange browns.
Yeah.
So the opportunity of having them mesh well is there, but I feel in this case both are far too saturated, and the tip hair color definitely takes away even more from their ability to work together.
Yeah.
Because it just adds this like really light saturated pink, which it doesn't go well. I mean,
I don't feel it's incredibly saturated,
maybe not too saturated. I guess you're right, but it's just it's a really light pink, which doesn't really seem to fit in. I do like the fact
Pink
for the,
and brown just don't work well
yeah,
together.
yeah, they don't.
It's
They
like
really don't.
blue and brown. I'll see like one good one ever, kind of thing.
Now, one thing about the coat now that like it makes sense a little bit more is like, I mean, that's sort of like a rustic color. I would just make it a little bit less dark, because I think having that sort of rustic orange is that's a good idea, given that the character's named Rust. Trying to think of what to do with the mane that would fit with a rustic orange kind of color.
Maybe like if you're going to have an accent color, probably make it gray,
Mm-hmm.
because rust.
Yeah.
Brown and gray usually, and somewhat like red purplish. Red purplish may be stretching it, but
So yeah, Russ, not a huge fan of your color scheme or really your story much at all. Could use a little bit of improvement. Hope you
Has
take these.
potential. We've shown that.
I hope you take some of our advice and make a great OC.
if not, yeah.
Like, you don't have to listen to us. We're talking out our asses most of the time, but
A lot of times we're just saying what could work, not necessarily what will.
yeah. It's hard to know. You just gotta do it.
And now you know.
Yeah, moving on to that good old mums guy.
Yeah.
His
Good.
bad OC.
Good.
Let's take a look at my bad OC.
That bad old mums guy.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Guy.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
So, my OC this week that I brought for Bad OC is Judgment. Judgment is quite a good lawyer. She has made a big name for herself and has been recommended to several ponies. She has protected her defendant many times. Which just makes it sound like she keeps defending the same person. When she's not in court, her personality is actually quite different. She's usually shy, but once she is around her friends, she is very outgoing and bubbly. She has two sisters. Her parents divorced when she was 2 and has been a debater since she was a filly. She loved her class debate, essentially how she got her cutie mark debating in class. So yeah. I like the idea that this character was in a debate team, because I, too, was also on a debate team for a while. That's why I spread like no tomorrow. Fuck yeah, policy debate, yo.
Policy debaters.
Policy debate. Spread that shit. So good. Anyway, but as for, like I said, the backstory's okay, and it feels like an okay story. But when it comes to, like, the actual character design, the aesthetics behind it, I'm not feeling it so much. I feel like the Navy is too dark, but the main...
Contrasting too much to the main.
I like the main
saying
color.
Earlier.
The main,
Yeah,
actually,
the main
is
really
good. The main is good, and that's what I was about to say, so it could be my point,
But the Navy
not your guys'
contrasts
point.
against it too much.
But the main does contrast against the dark Navy too much. So lighten up the Navy.
I do agree with what we've been saying, sort of about the coat versus the mane. I would like to see a lighter blue, kind of blue, just to see how that works. Is the eye color also blue? I can't really tell. It's really small. I think that would be it'd be a nice first step, at least, to like lighten up the blue, make it not like a really dark navy, because it's hard to do on a pony in general, especially if you're going to have a yellow mane, because yellow is like, it's hard to make yellow a dark color. It doesn't really work. I really like the yellow you have chosen, so I don't want you to change it, because it's great. But, as for the story and stuff like that, I mean, I think it's pretty fine all around. I mean, I sort of wonder, like, does her parents divorcing, did that, like, sort of her... I think one thing that might have been interesting, and this is maybe a little bit of a darker take on it, but if maybe her parents had divorced when she was a little bit older, and then she, like, just sort of was around a lot of argumentation, which then led to her debating a lot, that would be an interesting sort of way that she, like, grew into the role of what she's good at. Just as a possibility. You don't have to listen to what I'm saying, but I think that'd be cool. Or not really cool, it would suck, but it'd be a good character thing.
I think the tail looks dumb.
Yeah, oh yeah,
yeah, the split tail is kind of dumb.
I totally did. I was when you were talking about this character at first, I was totally going to say something, and then it just left my mind entirely.
Isn't that weird when that happens?
But what about the splitness of debate and court, and her parents, how they split?
Then say that in the character description.
Even still, no. Like,
it's a nice symbolism, but I don't think it.
There's going to need to be some change.
I like twin tails.
Is she's a lawyer, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, is that why her cutie mark is the scale?
Scales. Yes.
Okay.
Judgment is her name.
I guess lawyers do debate.
Even though technically that would be a better judge cutie mark.
Yeah.
In a technical sense, however, the law. So
yeah, that makes sense
because cutie marks.
I think it would be like maybe trying to find a way to simplify it down, though, would be a good idea, because it's not really super complex because you've got it pretty much this like one color. It's just the shape, but the shape itself is a bit complex and has like so much of this like white, like, or not white but empty space. That's just like her coat color. So I think maybe finding a way to get the same feeling across without having the like shape be as complex as it is would be a good idea, I guess. That's how I feel.
Yes.
I don't think that's really possible with
that's
the
the problem. I don't
with
know.
the scales of the law, it's not really possible. Because you can do like a regular balancing scales that's like just a little tiny base thing and then a lever on top of that with two little dishes, and it's incredibly basic, but that doesn't represent the balance of the law. That just represents like balancing two things in weight or something like that.
Yeah,
this specific
thing.
This specific thing works well with the law, whereas that's just weight.
Though is her talent the law or is it debating?
Her talent is debating, and that led her to be a lawyer because she got her cutie mark while debating in school.
My point was pretty much like, because I don't know if there would be a better way to represent just debating, but
I don't know either. My final thoughts on this character is that though the backstory seems whole and fleshed out in just a couple of details that could be lacking, I still feel that they cover a lot of different things very well with the character. It's just the execution of it is mostly where I have the problem. Like in the color, and that's about it. Color. Other than that, I think it's an okay pony. Moving on to the next OC. Smooth.
No.
You're not the next person. It's actually Medi.
No, also.
Fucking Commander, sorry. I'm not the best friend.
So, this is Ginger Snap by Galaxy Tracks. There's not really a backstory, it seems like, to them. So, I'll just, like, mostly be talking about aesthetics. It seems like they were going for this theme that, like, you can see in the first picture of, with the little bit of, like, sort of like powder sugar that you see on Ginger Snaps. And
I get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I mean, look, his name is Ginger Snap, and his cutie mark is like snapping the leg off of a gingerbread.
I was honestly going to punch you if you didn't sketch that.
I think that one thing, like, I do think that that's a very interesting way to represent Ginger Snap, as opposed to like a Ginger Snap.
Mm-hmm.
I would simplify that though. Also, I think it would be really funny. I'm totally already going off on like tangents and stuff, but I think it would be really funny if their cutie mark, like, it represented, instead of them being good at cooking cookies like Ginger Snaps, they just were like, they were like a really bad baker who, like, they made awesome stuff, but they were just like a total klutz and just ended up like breaking all their cookies or something like that. I don't know, just a random little thing that popped in my head.
But
I
that wouldn't be.
I also think it'd be really great if the cutie mark didn't have outlines.
Yeah, like I said, it's a bit too much, but... were you saying something, Smoke?
Good at breaking stuff that I create.
Yeah, the most aggravating cutie mark ever. Imagine trying to land a job with that one.
Ugh.
Destruction.
Being commissioned to make a gigantic cake. This is great! Yeah.
He designs a beautiful-looking wedding cake. Everything is perfect. As he goes to put the two little mares on top, or the two little fucking ponies on top.
Wow.
He places the first one down. Everything's fine. Sweat running down his brow. He goes to place the second one down, and it breaks.
And the cake splits in two entirely.
No, the cake's fine. The only thing that's broken is the other pony on the top of the wedding cake.
Somehow they break. Somehow that one breaks, even though it wasn't touched at all.
It's like, it was perfect. I almost had it.
So what exactly don't you like about this character, Commander? Unless
Well,
you're not
the main thing that I didn't like initially, in the first picture, was the mane and tail. However, today I found that they have reworked mane, and they don't have the tail, which kind of bugs me. I would recommend if you're going to change the aesthetics of your character, such as the mane, tail, the hair, having a full body shot so people can see the whole thing. But that's not that big of a deal. But other than that, I don't know. I didn't particularly like his color scheme, like the orange. At least when I first saw it, the orange was like. I didn't like how I don't really like how it sort of goes with the brown. I feel like it partially was this first picture. I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure out how I feel about it now as much. But also, I mean, the fetlocks, I'm not sure about because, like we were talking about earlier, going back to our conversation on fetlocks, as fetlocks are normally on sort of the more masculine male characters, as we were talking about, except for the female character who has this episode who it works on. But I don't really like them that much. They just don't seem necessary. It doesn't seem like they'd be the kind of pony who would have that based on the kind of job they would have or the way their lifestyle or their body type or anything like that. So it just seems unnecessary.
Now, in contrary, you didn't like his original hair?
Not particularly.
Yeah, I like that one more.
Yeah,
because
same here.
The new hairstyle makes him just seem kind of like another pony OC. The old hairstyle kind of gave him character.
Yeah, he was kind of silly. He probably liked his creation. It was artistic in a way.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know. I think I liked the idea of it. I just felt that it was so random that that it's kind of, for me personally, detracted from it. I will admit that I'm not a huge fan of the new hairstyle because it does seem to be just a bit generic, I guess would be the word. It's what kind of came to mind when I saw it. I just wished that it was more like the original, just a little bit tamer.
Less chaotic.
Yeah, it's pretty all over the place. Which, if you have, I'm sorry if there was a backstory to this character anywhere because I could not find it. But if you have the backstory and it somehow explains that, that's another thing. But yeah. I also am just not a big fan of the marks on his body because, I get it, ginger snaps, but they just don't look really that good.
I get it.
If anything, I like the original design a lot more than the new one. The only thing I would really get rid of, I don't even think you should get rid of the hair. Honestly, it's not all that bad. I would get rid of the white spots.
Oh yeah. That I feel like the spots are they were probably my main complaint.
Mainly on the knees.
I would simplify the cutie mark a little bit and maybe tone down the hair and get rid of most of the spots. It's like it again. This is not a bad OC section terribly, but and maybe give some character because I think that this, especially with how I feel, the character I feel from the first picture, there's a lot to work with.
Well then, moving on to the voting of it all. We're going to go back to we're going to vote on the good OCs. I brought in Cherry Bomb. Commander brought in Elderflower. Medi has Autumn Rain. And Smooth brought in Kinesis. Going back in the same order we presented in, not voting for the same OC you brought to the party. Smooth, who do you vote for your good OC?
Cherry Bomb.
Ah, nice. Medi, who do you vote for this week?
Kinesis.
Kinesis?
Yeah.
Fantastic. I vote for Kinesis as well. Commander.
Well, I really loved all of these OCs this week. Like, a lot. But I think I'm going to have to give mine to Cherry Bomb.
Great! So you know what that means? It's time for me and Smooth to do the thing. You know, the rock, paper, scissors. On, shoot, show what you got. So ready? Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, shoot. I got rock.
I got scissors.
Yay! I win this one. So, I win good OC. Awesome. Congratulations to Cherry Bomb. Moving on to bad OCs. I brought Judgment to the party. Commander brought in Ginger Snaps. Medi brought in Rust. And Smooth brought in Stardust. Smooth, who do you vote for?
As they stand currently, not how we fix and stuff, I'm going to vote for Rust.
Medi?
I'm voting for Ginger Snap.
I'm probably going to have to give it to Rust. Just because it's kind of I don't know. Commander, what do you think?
I'm also going to give it to Rust. Not just because I don't like it as it is, but because I also, I feel like there's a lot you can do with this character. So those in combination just really made it my choice for this week.
Cool. So congratulations, Medi. You won Bad OC this week.
Yay.
Medi, do we have any questions this week?
Sent in by Boxcars, fallout@newvegas.com. Okay, why is submitting crappy OCs from others against the rules of the show?
The reason why we don't allow other OCs being sent in from other people is because we believe that that is too hurtful. I mean, I get it that our show is called Your OC Sucks, but we've sort of adapted that to be more of a... It's
more
like
of a name than...
It's an attention getter.
Yeah.
And I never really
it's not
meant...
the best attention getter, but...
Sometimes people don't actually, watch, and they think we're just a bunch of douchebags. But then we literally have the continuous joke with Smooth of good part 2, because that's what he does.
He brings only goods. Our show, we want to be about showing people how they can make their OCs better and how they can benefit by a little bit of critique, but we're not here to shit on people's OCs. We're not here just to be like, oh, look at this fucker, he's bad. No, we're trying to be constructive.
We save that language for each other.
Yeah. We rip on each other's OCs, but we don't want to rip on others.
Is a vulgar, annoying, mean, but we're not being mean to be mean. We're being mean for entertainment.
I wouldn't even say we're trying to be mean.
We're also mostly mean to each other.
Yeah. We're not...
We're here to improve the fandom, not to insult it.
But that's not to say that what we're saying is what you need to do. This is literally our 3 opinions.
It's also entertainment.
Our 3 opinions. All 3 of the podcast members.
All 3 of the podcast.
I'm sorry. I just looked at the Skype call and there's 3 pictures and I immediately thought 3. I apologize.
So Mummified is the one who's not part of the podcast.
I don't fucking know.
Well, he said our, so it couldn't be him, so I'll see you guys later.
No, Smooth, get back here.
Anyway. The point is, this isn't meant to be us shitting on people's OCs. These are OCs that are willingly sent in to us by people who want critique, who want to better their OCs. And if they think we can help them... Yeah. It's also one of those things that they know what the show is about. If you're submitting to us, we assume that you know what the show's about, and you know how we react to people's OCs. So you're willing to go through any possibilities of us saying, no, we're sorry, you don't have a good OC, versus us sitting there going, oh my god, this OC is so amazing. So they know what they're getting into. They're willing to expose themselves that way. Other people exposing them, not with their permission, would be detrimental and not at all helpful for the character's design.
Also, on a side note, if you're submitting to the show you do realize that you are submitting with the permission of you, and if it's a commissioned piece, the person who made the piece is permission as well.
We work under the assumption that the art that is sent to us, you have permission for other people to distribute it. You should have the permission to distribute the art and have other people talk about it as they see fit. If you do not have the permission to share the art or have other people talk about it, don't send it in. Because that's plain and simple. It's like, okay, if I make a piece of art and for somebody else, I've commissioned stuff for other people that they wanted to use on other situations. And I said, fine, sure, I don't care. But make sure that if you're commissioning somebody, they're okay with that. Because if they're not, that's not our fault. That's your fault for not understanding the agreement of you commissioning that person.
But it does make it look bad but it does make us look bad.
Yeah.
We have a specific thing at the bottom of our journal agreement or our journal post about your submitting. It's contract worded, but it's essentially how we assume responsibility of the situation. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you submit to us and say, hey, here's my OC in this picture, and we happen to talk about the art, that's what it is. If anybody's offended by it, then that's the person who submitted its fault, the owner of the OC.
Anyways, so what is your Myers-Briggs personality type?
Well, that's the one with like the 4 letters, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I meaning introverted, E meaning extroverted. That's the first possibility. S being sensing, and N being intuitive. That's the second one. F being feeling, and T being thinking. That's the third one. And J being judging, or P being perceiving is the fourth one. 16 total possibilities.
It was originally invented to help women find jobs in the workforce.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I don't really know. Either way, I know that when you guys forced me to take it, I ended up being ENFJ, extroverted,
intuitive, feeling, judgment.
Yeah, that one.
Hey, Mummified.
What?
It's rarity.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah. It's the same exact one you had last time.
Okay.
So, I haven't taken this in a little bit, but I do remember that when I did take it, I was ISTJ, or introverted, sensing, thinking, and judging, which is, on this specific thing we were looking at, it's Twilight's personality, which, big surprise. Anyone who knows me.
And Mummified's is rarity, big surprise also.
Big fucking surprise.
These next two are actually big surprises.
Yeah.
Maddie.
God damn it. So, when I took the test...
You seem so upset.
I got ISFJ, which
Being
on this little chart,
Fluttershy.
which is fucking Fluttershy.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
That somewhat surprises me.
Like, I feel like from the exterior standpoint, it surprises me, but knowing you as a good friend, I feel it doesn't surprise me as much.
I suppose so. It's weird.
Because he doesn't act
You're
all
definitely not Fluttershy, but...
yeah.
That's why these 16 things are so applicable, because they work for more than just a few things, and they're
interesting how they've been turned into a personality type of thing, where we're using it now like this and not like they used to use it. It's interesting.
Well, there are different versions of it.
And you can look up all sorts of Myers-Briggs.
Look at psychology! Meta, do you have anything else to say on yours, or?
I like the feeling and judging part. I feel that fits me pretty well.
Judging you super hard.
Speaking of feeling and judging, I am introverted, intuitive, feeling, judging. By the way, very convenient, all of us are judging. That's the only thing we all have in common.
Well, we are on this show.
Yeah.
You're the only thinker of the group.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who actually thinks.
I'm the only extrovert.
No, whatever. Fuck off.
And I'm not unique in the slightest.
Nope.
Okay.
Sorry, buddy.
But at least, hey, look at this. You only have to change one letter in a line to get to each of us, starting with Commander or Mummified. But if you started with me or Medi, it wouldn't work. Like, if you start with Commander, ISTJ, then you just switch out the T for F, and you get Medi. You switch out the S for N, and you get me. And then you switch out the I for E, and you get Mummified.
Yep.
Yeah! Also, I was Princess Celestia, so that was weird.
Yeah, I
mean, when I read the personality thing, I was like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, that works.
So, Medi, those were all great questions. Where can they send questions and OCs to us?
You can submit all of those lovely things to us at eurocsucks.deviantart.com, at eurocsucks at twitter.com, eurocsuckspodcast at gmail.com, and eurocsuckspodcast.tumblr.com.
Great. Fantastic. So,
not Eurocsucks YouTube.
Yeah, don't submit anything on YouTube. That's not a place where you need to submit. We're wrapping up our core, main 3 different styles of ponies. And next week we're going to be going into Alicorn, which is our last main, or regular sort of species of pony. Next week we're going to be doing Alicorn, like I said, but then we're going to be going into not so common ones. So if you or any of your friends have an other species other than what we've already had or Alicorn, keep sending them in. The more you send in, the more likely we'll have an episode based around that theme, and the less we actually have to go out hunting for OCs. So if you could do that, that'd be great. That was a great episode. Thank you all for coming out. My name has been Mummified Thunderbirds. I've been joined by
Commander Sparkle,
Medi Bobo,
And smooth sailing.
And remember, folks, your OC sucks.